All right, so you are already recorded now. All right, so let's look at this. So make sure that you click on this to your, I already shared the link in our chat. So click on that. So make sure that every one of you already here in this open learning platform. So this is a new one because this is a, I'm trying to use this one first time for your class and also for my another class. So this is gonna have fun. So basically, you will have a lot of fun here because you will have a lot of interaction, okay, collaboration, action, and also activities where you can share your opinion and where you can learn from your friend opinion. Okay, and this platform also allow us to do the learning, teaching and learning activities synchronously. Like now, what we are doing now is we call it synchronous, where we all together in the same time, in the same day, in the same time, or asynchronously. Asynchronous means that it's a, you can do or you can do the learning activities by yourself, independently, using your own pace. Okay? When you think you are free, then you can continue. You can do by yourself. Okay? Since we are recorded this synchronous session, then you can refer this back. I will put some link to this recorded video after this, so that you can refer whatever that we have discussed synchronously, then you can refer back after that. So there is another activity, which is for me is very important. So when you're already here, so, oh, I forgot one more important thing, that I would like to recommend you that to use two things, two gadgets. First, it's better for you to use your own laptop or your own PC for you to do a lot of activities. Okay, there is one, and the second one is I also recommend that you use your own mobile, your own handphone, as for you to access the Gmail. So use it for your Gmail and use your laptop if you have for your activities, because this is more on the hands-on. Okay, that's the best way if you have a laptop together with your mobile. If not, that you can use only laptop. All right. So those who are having the problem, you can personally email message me in WhatsApp, so that we can solve this, your problem regarding the gadgets and also regarding the internet connection. All right, this is very important. All right, so make sure that you're already here, because this is what we call it, dedicated page or dedicated platform. If none of you, okay, those who are not within our class want to join this, they need to pay. So the cost there is about 30 ringgit, so very very cheap. Okay, nanti saya naik lagi 300 lah, jadi dia takut mau masuk. But for our class, I will give you an access code such that you will join or you will access this open learning platform free. So what you're going to do now is click, everybody make sure that everybody already here in this landing page. Semua okay, huh?
Okay,
But don't
sir.
worry, I already put this one in the e-learning, so you can continue. If you're having a problem now, cannot access the internet or cannot access, if you're having a limited internet access or you're having a problem in accessing this open learning platform, don't worry, I already put this slide in our Smart UMS. All right, so please click join and you will ask this kind of action. So make sure that you put your UMS email, the password, and your name. Okay, in your name. It's better for you to use your full name. Okay, and make sure that you click there, I'm not a robot, and get started. Okay. Then put this access code. This is very important. So only those in this class, in our class, that can enter this, because I already set something there in the platform. So by having this kind of access code, then you can access this open learning. Nampak tak? Kenapa yang lain tu? Dia gerak. Okay. Sorry. It should be. This is the problem if you lama sudah tidak apa. Alright. So make sure you are here. Click the join now and put your information here, your personal information, the email. Wait, kenapa dia nak gerak? Okay, macam ni lah senang. Okay, once you put all information here, the email, the passport, the password, the name, and then after that you click the get started, then you will ask for the access. Okay, so put the UMS, there's EPS, and then click join now. And you will go to this kind of page. All right, so once you already here, then we're gonna start our first introduction class using this open learning platform. All right, so make sure that everybody already here. I will check after this. If you're having a problem, so you can raise your hand or just switch on your microphone and ask the question.
Sir,
All right, yeah,
can you show it again, the access code?
UMS dash EPS. I will type there in the chat. Siapa tanya
Okay.
tu? Dia minta access code, ya betul. So this is the access code. Check your chat. Okay, 6 of you already here. Thank you. So at least half of you, if you're already here, then we can continue the activity. Don't worry, the first time is, yeah, we will take a lot of time here just to make you very familiar with the uh, features here. I will give you the reason why that you need to use this and why you need to use the UMS Smart UMS, sorry. Okay. Those two are different application or different tools, but that's basically helps you in online learning. All right, so 21 already, thank you. If you're already there, so please go to the home and do some activity, because this can be done synchronously or asynchronously. So don't wait for me, because I need to make sure that all of you already there, and then after that we do some discussion on these activities. Okay? Kalau siapa yang ada masalah, please inform me. So let me check now. We have 23 already. 27. Okay, very good progress. Thank you.
Hello, doctor. Hello.
Anybody want to ask question? Macam saya dengar ada orang tanya itu.
Saya
Ya,
dokter.
Nick.
Can you show me the code again?
Which one?
Wait, the access code.
Check your chat. The code is already give that. Put that in the chat.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
All right. So those already there. So you can go to this home. So this is our home page for our engineering problem solving and programming. So this just, as I mentioned in the earlier, that this is just an introduction activity. So the real thing that the real content that we'll cover, basically we'll do that in the next week. Okay, in the next week. So you just answer all this equation activity here, read, and then answer all the activity, and then after that, once you finish here in home, then you can go to the introduction to course. There is a lot also activity there. Okay, answer some of the discussion, and then okay. Before I forget about this, so that this is basically designed in a sequential manner. Okay, what does it mean? It means that you need to finish or you need to complete one activity in one session first before you want to go to the next session. Once the current session is already complete, then you can access the next session. If not, then the link is not available. Okay, that is what we mean by sequential manner. The objective of having this kind of approach is that basically you need to at least you do that activity first. Betul ke salah doesn't matter, because this is a learning process. Whatever your response there can be commented by me as your teacher, as your class facilitator. I'm not your teacher, I'm your facilitator. Or also you can learn from your friends. Your friend are basically allowed to comment it, to correct whatever your response there. For example, there is a question asking where you come from. Okay, then you can do some chatting over there. Okay, if there is for example, in your reflection, there is something that you need to share with your friend, and your friend wants to know more on your reflection, then they can ask you. They can ask you about your uh, reflection there. So this is very important. That's why we need to Akila ni apa pasal masuk keluar masuk, right? That's why this is kind of approach is very, for me, it's very important, especially in the engineering courses, because engineering courses basically we do it sequentially. Okay, so continue. I will come to you after this. Make sure that I want to make sure that all of you already here. 36. That's very good. Basically, we have how many online here? Uh, 44. Okay, 44. Not this one. I will check our schedule. 8:30 kita bikin apa sepatutnya. Okay, so we are behind the schedule. Okay, so guys, let's go here. The rest, make sure that you are able to do this. Otherwise, you can do after this, because this is recorded. Don't worry, I will put this in the YouTube link, and then I will give you the link. All right, so welcome to engineering problem solving and programming. So basically, we will. Okay, there is our hope here. Okay, wonderful time and learn a lot about engineering problem solving and programming. So it's not only the objective is not for you to learn, but having a wonderful time, fun during the learning. That is very important. Okay? You know that engineering course is not, yeah, boring, right? So make sure that you have a wonderful time here. All right, so there is a main objective here. So you can read that. There's a lot of things that we need to cover. So basically, although we're having two parts here, basically we have EPS, engineering problem solving, and also EP, engineering programming. We will cover it, both the objective, both parts in one activities, which is engineering programming. All right. So meanings that you will learn engineering programming in solving engineering problems. That's why if you look the detail after this, so most of the learning activities will be based on the engineering programming. We have a problem in the engineering, especially the chemical engineering, and you try solving it using engineering programming. So the software that we will use here is a MATLAB. Okay. So course outline here, course learning outcome, sorry. So there are four there. Apply basic programming script. So this is very important. Okay, at the end of this session or at the end of this semester, so you will able to apply basic programming in MATLAB in order for you to do a lot of solving activities, especially in solving chemical engineering problems. Okay, it can be done in a simple assignment, it can be done in a project, and it can also be done in your assessment, especially on your final, okay, in your final examination. So most of them apply. So that is the first thing that you need to able to master this. The second is formulate. In order for you to apply, so you need to able to formulate a programming algorithm. Okay, and also a flow chart for you to solve a problem, a chemical engineering problem. So you will analyze the problem first, and then draw a flow chart how that you want to solve it, and from that you formulate an appropriate programming algorithm corresponding to every activity in your flowchart. Okay, and then after that you develop a computer program. Okay, in more specific, in this class we use MATLAB. So you need to able to develop an M file. M file is basically a MATLAB computer program. Okay. In applying, okay, because we have apply there in the first one, so develop for you, you need to develop M file in MATLAB to apply. Okay, before you apply, you need to formulate. That's why all of these learning outcomes are related to each other. And the last one is synthesize computer program. So either it's a sequentially structured and also doing a looping. Basically, if you want to do something optimization, that you need to do some looping. So that you need to think first, synthesize first, design it first. Okay. All right, a little bit about myself. You can read there. I'd rather to be called as a facilitator, not a teacher, not a lecturer, because I'm not giving a talk, because I'm not giving a lecture. I'm here to help you, okay? To help you, to facilitate you, to provoke you in achieving your learning outcome. All right. So before joining UMS, I was a former associate professor in chemical engineering in UTM. That's why I'm still here in Johor Bahru. Okay, don't worry. Next year I will see you in KK. But by the way, all of you still not in KK, right? Don't worry. Okay, I've been teaching in UTM for the last 20 years, and this is my research area, process system engineering, especially in process modeling and simulation. So if you are taking the simulation class in the future, then you are a big chance for us to meet again. And also process control. So that is basically my niche research area. Okay, something that your senior is very afraid of. All right, so we have a discussion here. So please share with your friends, what do you expect to learn from this course? Okay, just type there your thought, and then after that we will discuss this sharing. Okay, just type there. I give you about 1 minute. Okay, ada yang sudah bikin, thank you. Nur Maisara, what do you expect? Okay, don't worry, today is just non-technical content, don't worry. Tidak ada yang mau kira-kira ke apa, no. This is just a sharing session to introduce yourself, to introduce myself, and also to introduce the course. Do you have a class after this? Pengulu? Ray, mana kau?
No, sir. We don't have class after this.
Alright, thank you, Ray.
Okay.
So it's okay if we extend a little bit time, it's okay, right? Okay, please
Yeah,
do
sure.
your response there. Give your thought. What do you expect? What you need to do is just tap there and click next and then next. Reflection to no need for you to respond on that. What do you expect to learn from this course? I need to refresh because otherwise I cannot see the new entry. Wait, only one here? Where's the rest? Nur Maisara, thank you for the response. I expect to learn how to design something new that is useful to everyone and learn about programming like software things that involve computer instruction like coding. Wow. Okay, first I would like to like first. So if you want to comment, you just click a comment there. There is a comment area there, down there. So you just comment. All right. So you are expected to learn how to design something new. All right. So this is not a design class. This is just engineering introduction for the programming. Okay. But don't worry. Okay. Thank you for your comment. For your response. The rest you can continue. Otherwise, otherwise we cannot finish this introduction session. All right. The second thing also. All right. Thank you, my Sarah. In 1 minute, because you already have your expectation. So you expect to learn something. Okay. I would like to learn, but why I'm expected that I will learn this in this class, and then reflect back. In order for you to achieve your expectation, what you need to do. Okay? Because this is very important for me to know you are having something, you are going to achieve something target, your target, because you expected something, then how that you want to achieve it, right? So that's very important. So for example here, Nurmai Sarah, thank you for your response. I can make my coding by myself and apply the computer program easily. Oh, you can make your coding by yourself. That's very, what we call it, bersemangat. You have a, yeah, in order for you to achieve your expectations. So thank you. How about the rest? Please share. Remember that this is a structured sequential platform. If you don't respond here, then you cannot go to the next activities. So make sure that you respond this first. Okay, we go for the one Ahmad Azim Najhi. Ui, panjang nama kau. Patah Timu ni. Kelate Ganu. My expectation for this course is we will learn programming to have us solving engineering problem. All right, thank you. Or they like that. Please, guys, you can also like your friends respond. Al Shahrul Nizam, what I can expect is that we need to do coding to solve our problem. All right. If that is your expectation, yes, you will learn the coding after this, don't worry. Hozin Rao, I expect to learn about programming as I have never learned it before and relate it towards engineering. All right. Don't worry. Rao, you will learn that, although you don't have any experience in the programming before. This guy from Kuala Penyu, I'm expecting a lot of new things from the course itself where I can improve as well as enhance my ability in solving any problems regarding on what I will be learning. Macam-macam lah Kore. But by the way, thank you for your response, Ray. That is very good. Okay, an
Thank
excellent
you, sir.
expectation. Okay, from Kuala Penyu guy. By the way, if you receive a lot of likes, for example, from your friends, and you also do a lot of comments to your friend, you will get some badges. For example, most popular badge, for example. Most popular, basically, if you're having a certain amount of like, for example. Contoh, kalau you're having 50 likes, so you have the most popular guy in the class. 100 likes, for example, okay. People Choice Award, for example, because a lot of people like your comment. Okay, that's why this is very important. Tadi siapa? Sire, last. Now we go for this Laura Fabric. I expect to learn a lot of things, especially basic programming, to assist me in solving chemical engineering problems. Other than that, I hope I found and create a new way of learning through this platform. All right, thank you. Inshallah, you will find it. Okay. But the most important is if you want to find it, you want to experience it, make sure that you actively participate in every single activities. That is the most important. You are hoping something this, but make sure that you have something to do to achieve in order for you to achieve it. All right, thank you. Siapa tadi nama dia? Laura. All right, then we have a Fatin Naziha. I expect to learn how to apply basic programming to solve chemical engineering problem from this course. Thank you very much. But I need to have something extraordinary. Wow. Extraordinary expectation, for example. Okay. Dayang Nur Alia binti Jainuddin. Ini orang Brunei kan. Is it something new for me? I expect to learn about programming even though it's quite challenging. Oh, how you know it's quite challenging? But I'm pretty sure it will be fun and exciting session learning. Thank you. Also, I want to try my best to solve engineering problems using software from knowledge that I get from this class. All right, thank you for that expectation. Hopefully that all of us will achieve that. Nicole, Elvina, and Tony. What do I expect to learn from this course is to learn about all the problems that engineers face. Wow, all, not all. We are basically only looking at the chemical engineering problem and how they solve them by using programming. All right, thank you. Remember, sometimes if you want to do something, you want to solve, you cannot solve world, a real world problem. Okay, just look a very simple problem which basically much related to you. Thank you. Now we go for the reflection. Okay, don't worry, the rest I will check. I will give like after this. The rest also, please give like to your friends. All right, the reflections. I can be prepared to the coding as I had learned. Oh, about it, thank you. I hope that I can learn something new in programming and I will able to have more knowledge in programming and able to solve any problem regarding chemical engineering. This is the action, all right? And this reflection is basically action. I expect to learn. Kenapa learn? Expect lagi. To work with various kind of art way. Nurul Shifa, this is not your expectation. This is basically what you're gonna do. Okay, your action. Okay. All right, guys. So you can continue. After that, otherwise nanti kita tak sempat nak habiskan for this introduction. All right, the rest of you, please go to the introduction section. Introduction to course. There are a lot of things here. There is a lot of section and also activities that we need to cover until 10. So first thing first, we go to your introduce yourself. So this is very important. Although I already know some of you, where do you come from? So but this is very important because we can know each other, where do you come from, and basically there is several games that you need to do here. All right. So hi everyone. So tak kenal maka tak cinta. Yes. So it's nice to know. It's nice to know a little bit about yourself. So please introduce yourself. But before you introduce yourself, please do this first. This is very important. That's why I would like you not only in this open learning platform, but also in your Google Meet or in your Gmail account. So make sure that you put your profile there, your own real profile. Okay? Because sometimes when we online something like this, so, and not of you basically able or want to open your video, right? So it's better that you have your picture profile there, so that yeah, I can recognize. All right, so this is all right. This is A. This is B. This is C. Right. So the same thing also here. So please, if you can do it now, it's good, better. Otherwise, you can do it later. So please set your profile first. So it is important that you have this personalized profile page, such that I can able to differentiate and also appreciate your response after this. Okay, there is a simple instruction how you want to change your profile. Okay, I'm leaving this to you here. You can do it now or you can do it later. So well done, guys. So now please introduce yourself. Your full name and also where do you come from. So for example here, hello, my name is Kamaruddin. I'm from Membakot, Sabah. Alright, basically saya berjiran dengan Sireh, Membakot dengan Kuala Penyu, basically dekat-dekat. Alright, so please introduce yourself here. Please use your full name. Baby Mutual Girl, is this your real name? Please use your real name because this is a formal class. Oh, all right. Thank you. Sorry for that. Oh. Put some comment there. Where do you come from? What I should call you? Baby? Michelle or girl? You can open the mic. Baby, Michelle, go. Yeah, this is very important because, yeah, how that you want your friend or me to address yourself.
Doctor,
Yeah,
do we need to upload our photo in that section?
not clear. Can you repeat it again?
Do we need to upload our photo in that section?
For this platform, yes, but it's not compulsory now. You can do it later. Okay, use your own photo. Don't worry. This is our formal class. Nobody, no, this is not what we call it media social. So don't worry. All right, just put your real photo there. It's okay. All right. Okay, please. You need to respond on this. Otherwise, you cannot have access to the next. All right, Naziha, Fatih Naziha from Labuan, thank you. Nicole Evelina from Keningau. One Ahmad Nazim, oh, that is very long. So Azim, okay. Raka Panjay, Kelate, we have Asa mana ni? Azim, Rata Panjang kan? I know everybody is here in Kota Baru already. Thank you. Baby Michelle, please comment where you come from. So that is very important. Otherwise, your friends, sometimes your friend want to know where you come from. Right. So you can continue. So next we do nice to meet you. Remember that if you don't respond in that introduce yourself, you cannot go to this nice to meet you session. So let's do some ice-breaking activity. This is very important activity since you are not seeing each other face to face. So hopefully that this activity will break the ice. Okay, break the ice within us. All right, so let's do this activity. I know that some of you familiar with those symbols. Don't worry. Tiada yang kena bunuh ni here. Don't worry. All right. So this game we call it truth or lie. Okay, true or lie. Truth or lie. So what you're gonna do is you write down there the true facts about yourself and one the false fact or the lie about yourself. Okay, two truths and one lie. Then your friend will try to guess which one is a lie. Okay, which one is a lie. So please respond it as soon as possible because this is we're gonna do this activity now here right now. So I can give you about until 9 for us to do these activities. Remember that some of these activities are important for you to, for this case, the objective is to break the ice. When you do the content, when you do the course after this, is about the content, understanding the content. So it's very important for you to participate, actively participate, in order that the knowledge can be assessed successfully, or can be gained, can be obtained successfully. All right. So guys, please respond it. Two truths about yourself and one lie about yourself. That's why I recommend you to have a laptop and also the mobile, the handphone. Use both of it because there is a lot of hand-on activity here. Here, sorry. Come on, guys. Otherwise, we cannot proceed because the link is not available after that. Okay, by the way, you can click here, student activities. This is where all your response will be logged. Okay, you can check siapa yang sudah hantar, okay, who's basically responded, which session, you can check over here. You can do it over here. Okay, Azim is already respond for that through line activity. Thank you. Al Sharul Nizam from Sandakan, Nur Amirawati binti Amir from Lahadatu. Okay, we have Fatin from Semanggol, Perak. Mana lagi? Nur Faiza from Kinabatangan. Hopefully that you have a good connection there. Nur Azwana from Keningau. Nur Hanisa from Tawau. We have one Nur Rabiatul Adawiyah. Rabiatul from Kedah. Okay, this is expectation. Agneta Miranda from Bintulu. Let me refresh again. Dayangku Syafa Hanani from Papar. Mesti orang Brunei lah. Dayangku orang Brunei lah tu. Fadila from Sandakan. We have mana lagi? Okay, Nur Alia from Tawau. We have Bethany from Kota Belud. Thank you. All right. So we have let's go to our game. So we still have 3 minutes, guys, please. In this activity, the time is very important. Okay, once your friend already responds there, so make sure that you try to guess. For example, here, Azim, I like to cook kelate, yeah. Betul, Bu. I know how to code before since I have a long time at home. Probably I'm an introvert person. Okay, this is very difficult to guess either you are a really introvert person or not. Let me guess. So my first, the lie one is cook. I don't think you are a cook. Then you click the comment. If it's right, then Azim, you need to respond yes or wrong. Okay. So let's go to Ray. I'm tall, tipu lah kau. I like sport. I like learning new languages. What kind of language do you want to Ray? You want to learn Ray? You already know the Kadazan. Okay, the lie for Ray is I know how they physically look orang Kuala Penyu. Sorry, Ray. Please respond if that is right or not. Let's go to Hozint. I'm a good at drawing. Wow. I like playing games. Is it a physical game or e-games? I love sleeping. Wow. Ozin Rao. Love sleeping. Wow. Okay, the lie. Let me try guess the lie. Those who love playing game is not a good drawer. So the painting. So drawing. Okay, that's just my guessing, all right, guys. So you can try respond on that. So now it's already 9. All right, the rest, thank you. So I will look at this and then also respond all of your uh, comment here. And please also the rest, please try to answer or guess which one is the live one. Which we call it index of learning style. I do believe that this is the first time you heard about learning styles. For your information, we need to know what is your style of learning. Because knowing your learning style basically gives you advantage. You can do some adjustment. Sometimes you do some adaptation related to the way of teaching and learning activities. Active person, then rather than reflective. Active means activities. Okay, so meaning you more prefer to observe rather than participate. That's the difference between active and reflective. The same thing also for the visual and the verbal learner. If you're a verbal learner, then you are much love the lecture, the speech, the talk. The talk apa pula? Kenapa lah? This is not a talk. Okay, it's basically so you you are much easy to obtain the knowledge through forum, for example, through discussion, through lecturing. But it's totally different if you are a visual learner. You are much easy to learn, to obtain the knowledge by looking at the video, for example, by looking at the infographic presentations. Okay? So that is basically the most important thing that you need to know about yourself. So what we're gonna do now until, let me check it again the schedule. Oh, okay lah, boleh lah. So we make this for about 15 minutes while you do some, yeah lah, 15 minutes is a long time. It's okay. A lot of time there you can do sambil-sambil you rehat. So what I want you to know, to do now is that's basically the definition of the index of learning styles, which basically developed by Professor Felder. Okay, this is my two guru in engineering education. Okay, Richard Felder is basically the famous chemical engineering lecturer. Basically, he wrote several books related to chemical engineering, the textbook. The famous one is basically for introduction to chemical engineering, which basically most of the students use for mass balance and also energy balance subject. Okay, so that is the most important, that this learning style profile provide an indication of probable. Okay, it's not the right one, but probability that is basically your strength. Okay, that's basically your style. That's why, uh, and also a possible tendency or habit which will help you either in learning or also if you're having a difficulty in academic setting. For example, yeah, during this online or during this pandemic. Okay, during the pandemic, basically during the online, sometime, yeah, I do believe that you have this kind of experience during your matriculation or during your high school, okay, Form 5 or Form 6, that most of the, yeah, I can call it teacher, they just open the Google Meet and then share the slide and then just present it. All right, just present it. That is, I can say that is most of the, because of this pandemic, most of those basically happen. So that's why it's very important for you, such that to know that your what kind of your learning, such that you can have some adjustment in the way of you, in the way of your learning. Okay, so it's basically developed under this North Carolina State University. So just go here. So this is the link. So you go to this link and make sure that you answer those questions. It's just a survey. All right. So this is a survey. Just answer it. Put your name and then answer it. And after that, you will have this kind of result, something like this. We give you the number related to your style. Either you are reflective learner or either you are active learner. This is about myself. Okay? Either you are sensing learner or intuitive learner. And also you need to understand that you are belong to a global learner or sequential learner. As a chemical engineering student or technical student, I do believe that most of us are sequential learner. Okay? If you don't believe, you can check after this. All right. So what I want you to do now, answer this survey. Okay. Honestly, reflect to yourself, because that will basically representing your learning of style. And I would like you to upload. At the end, you will have this, not the one in the middle. Itu saya tambah-tambah situ. Okay, please upload this kind of result, which you have 4 bar chart there. Okay, and then after that, we will discuss on that. Okay, I give you until 9 berapa tadi? 9:15 lah, 9:50 to 9:20 lah. Okay, alright guys, go and do that activities. Sambil-sambil you can take a rest. You check mana tahu ada yang sudah hantar, belum? Okay guys, continue. So while I will put down my camera, okay, and also my microphone. By the way, guys, you can scan the attendance here. Okay, guys, so hopefully that some of you already done with the learning styles. Okay, let me share. Please remember that this is very important for you to know that what kind of learning style that you have. Let's see here. So, all right, thank you, guys. Let's analyze first Kathleen. Am I pronouncing your name right, Kathleen?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Estenila Marceline. Look that you have a balance in terms of sensing and intuitive. Balance also, but more toward verbal. Ini mesti banyak cakap nih. Wow, you're more on global. Are you sure you're global? Or the engineering student, you're more on the sequential? But it's okay, since you know the global, meaning that, okay, the difference between sequential and the global. Okay, guys, you need to take this note. When you are global learners, you look for, basically you look the problem from the bird eyes view, from the perspective of bird eyes view. Okay, or ataupun or sometimes we call it a helicopter view. You look at as a big problem, the general big problem first. That's why you call it global. Okay, and from that you narrow it down until you're able to find the solution for the problem. That is the global way of a learning. On the other hand, for the sequential, you learn that from stage by stage. And as you know that the engineering solution basically involve stage by stage ataupun step by step, or we call it algorithm. So what we're going to learn here is basically we are developing an algorithm. So it's more on the sequential learner side. But if you're a global learner, don't worry, you need to adjust. Okay, you need to adjust. Active, that's okay. That is okay. If you're active learner. All right, so we look at another person here, Azim. All right, so more on the reflective. Patutlah senyap Azim. All right. Sensing, okay, that's a little bit balanced, but wow, you're more on the visual. That's normal. The lucky is more on the visual compared to the ladies. Ladies more on the verbal. Sorry, but that's normal. That is the real thing. All right, so visual, you need to adjust your learning style. If in your class is just more on the talk, then make sure that you're adjusting it by converting. Okay? If your teacher or if your lecturer in your class love to give lectures, love to talk, bagi syarahan, so what you're going to do is you need to adjust. Okay, convert those verbal activities into a visual. Maksudnya you need to do a lot of things. For example, is you convert it into mind map. Okay, sebab you easy to learn it from the visual. Okay, so that is basically, since you know that you are more on the visual learner, but your teacher or your lecturer, not in this class, in your other class, for example, love to give lecture, love to talk, for example, then that should be the way you to adjust your learning. All right, sequential, that's normal for a technical or engineering student. Siapa ni? Ya, Shifa. Shakila. Nurul Yashifa, how to pronounce the last term of your name?
Shikila.
Shikila.
Yeah.
Oh, C. It's okay, don't worry. All right, thank you. So you are more balanced there in the active or reflective mode, more active in sensing the three there. But yeah, this is visual, more on the visual, and also a little bit global there. All right, that's normal. Visual, okay, as what I mentioned, explained just now about the visual, that do some adjustment. If, since you know that you are a visual learner, always make adjustment in order for you to fully understand what you have learned, what you're going to learn. Okay, that's why it's very important for you to know the style. Oh, Laura, you have a very extreme visual index there. You have a little bit reflective and intuitive, although it's still balanced. Sequential is much balanced in the global. All right, meanings that you have a technical point of view, and also you have a global point of view in order for you to look at the problem. But the visual, yes, this is very important. It's an engineering or technical student to have a visual preferences. Thank you. Ayuni, balance about sensing and visual, a little bit biased toward the active, but you are more global. Okay, you are more global. So when you are entering the engineering class, which basically required basically more on the technical, if it's more on the technical, especially on the core subject of a chemical engineering, so it's more on the most of them are basically a sequential. Okay, most of them are basically a sequential. So make sure that you do some adjustment. Okay, make sure that you do some adjustment on it. All right, thank you. So let's check another students, another response. We're gonna find something which is quite weird. Okay, for example here, not really weird, but this is much balanced. Okay, both of the left and right sides are balanced. So basically you have to a lot of adjustment here that you need to do. It's depending on the way your class is conducted. Okay, your teaching and learning class, how that they conducted. But you are basically, so those person who are balanced, something like Alia, then a lot of thing adjustment that you need to do, because you are quite middle, okay, in the center. So quite balanced in terms of either you are active or reflective. Okay, maksudnya you are very active in the class, or sometimes you are very a little bit silent, but you are observing, more on observing. Okay, especially when you have a face-to-face class in the future. Okay, more on the visual, but still balanced. All right, so thank you for all your response. I will check detail one by one after this. If you want to know more about the definition, so there is a here, you can look at here, learning style and strategies. So it's better for you to print it, or you can read it here, what the verbal and visual learner means, and how that you can help yourself if you know that you are verbal learners, how that you can take advantage of your verbal learners, and also how, for example, if you're sensing or intuitive learners, so there is some advantages. Okay, and how in order for you to gain that advantage, you need to do something, and how you do the adjustment. So all of those are mentioned here. Okay, all of this are mentioned here. So it should be noted that as a student, as a learner, knowing your style is very important. Okay, as I mentioned it before, that the teaching style, okay, especially if you have experienced that before in your matriculation or in your schools, and you will experience here in your first semester, in your first year in UMS. So knowing your style is very important because as university students, it is your responsibility. It is depend on you. It's not what you have experienced in school that your teacher will help you, will always monitor you, will always asking you to do something or to submit your exercise, for example, submit your assignment, for example. But here in the university, it's totally depend on you individually. That's why knowing your preferences or knowing your learning style basically will help you. It's part of it. Okay, it's not basically helping you 100% totally, but basically at least you know. Okay, you are belong to what type of learners, and how that you take advantage of this kind of learning style. Because a lot of things that you need to do is adjustment. Masuk kelas 1, cara mengajar dia lain. You go to the next class, okay, the way of the teaching is different. Masuk my class will be totally a mixed combination because I want you to take advantage of your style. Okay, that's why they need to have some combination of activities. Yang mana you need to do some, for example, more on discussion. So on the discussion, so the verbal learners will take advantage there. After this, we'll do some activities where the visual learner will take advantage. For example, you need to come up with a mind map, for example, infographic activities or developing activities. So where the visual learner will take the advantage more. Okay, there is also some lecture, a little bit lecture where the verbal learner also will take advantage. And there's also some of the active activity that, for example, the hands-on like right now, where the active person or the active learner will take that activity, will take that advantage. All right. So that's why knowing your learning style is very important. Okay. Kita ingat this is the totally difference, not in your matriculation, it's not in your high schools, especially those who are come from the STPM. All right. Nobody will responsible for your learning except yourself. Okay. All right. So I think we still have a time for our next. Or if you have a question about your learning style, you can just switch on your microphone, or you just raise your hand. I click the raise hand icon there, or just you can write the comment down here. Okay, if you have a general questions about our activities here. Okay. It should be noted that sometimes I give you time. Okay. For example, okay, if there's any questions, okay, I give you 10 minutes, I give you 1 minute to reflect, to ask question, for example. This is the activity which will make advantage for reflective learners. For those who are more on the reflective side, so basically, in order for your learning style help you in learning, okay, you need to have something like time. So that's why I give you some time per slot, or such that you can have a time for you to reflect, some time for you to observe, or yeah, you are reflective. That's why we have a lot of reflection activities here. Sometimes that we need to have some hands-on activity that we basically take advantage for the active learner. Reflection activity for the reflective learner. That's why this kind of activity, that's why I'm asking that I have a balanced activity Okay, because a lot of you, for example, here, yang mana tadi more on the reflective tu. Okay, so reflection is basically your advantage. For example, here, wow, Royce Daphne Renius, you're basically totally reflective. Okay, you are very totally reflective, and I, I will. Okay, my advantage, my advice for you, you are always in a danger condition. Okay, because sometimes bila lecture dia tak bagi ruang, dia tak bagi masa for you to think about the content or the lecture, for example, then you will lose. Okay? Reflective learner always require time to look back what they have learned. Okay? For example, usually I will ask you a question after this. For example, what's the best thing that you have learned today? Okay? Or what kind of activity that you will suggest for our next class? So this kind of activity basically have the reflective learner. Okay, we'll have the reflective learner. Sebab dia suka fikir. Okay, this reflective learner always observe and always think about what they have learned. But if they are not given any opportunity or the space for them to show their reflection, to show their reflective idea or opinion, then they will lose. Okay? It's totally different for the active. Active, we need to have a lot of activities. If there's no activities, then the active learner basically won't get any advantage. Okay? All right. Next, we go for another session. We are towards the end. Kalau kita tak habis pun yang ini, don't worry. You can continue it asynchronously. It's taken online, but without having this kind of Google Meet discussion. All right, there is some of note here that the program that we will learn throughout this semester. So there is a MATLAB, and for your information that we're gonna use a MATLAB, the online version MATLAB. There is a new initiative done by MATLAB that you can apply or you can use MATLAB without installing it in your laptop or in your computer. So it's an online platform. As long as you use your own institution email, and if your institution email, for example, UMS, if you have a subscription of this MATLAB version, whatever available there, then you can use some of the feature. Otherwise, you can use the limited feature. But no worry, for this course, we just use the general features in the MATLAB. Okay, we don't learn something to hack your friend IG. Okay, we are doing some programming in order to solve a chemical engineering problem. You can hack only the chemical engineering program, not your friend IG. Yang itu you need to take somewhere else. Okay, so there is a response from your friend that you want to, he or she want to learn this programming because he or she want to hack her or his friend IGs. All right, so there is a discussion there. Remember that why that we need to have a lot of discussion, a lot of reflection, because your learning style is different. Okay, your learning style is not the same. There is a more drastic or extreme reflective learner here. There also a lot of you are basically active learner. Therefore, we need to have a lot of discussion, a lot of activity here. All right. So please, based on those, of course, you need to read this. So give me or give us two reasons. Share to us two reasons why you as an engineering student need to learn programming, except the reason that you want to hack your friend IG. Okay. All right. Give me two reasons. Give us two reasons. Why? Okay. I gave you Now 9:40. Okay, I give you just 5 minutes. 9:45 we need to stop and we need to do some closure. Okay, walaupun ada a lot of several activity yang kita dah sempat habis. So don't worry. Okay, 5 minutes. Share with us how that you, why that chemical engineering student, okay, engineering student why that chemical engineering student need to learn about programming. Don't worry guys, some of you are having a connection problem, but don't worry. That's why I am preparing this using open learning platform, because you can access it after this. And also this 2-hour session basically recorded, and you will access that after the class. Let's check this discussion part. How's in Rao? Because we can't rely on maths forever. Look stylish and modern. Kau ni fashionista apa? Remember that everything around us about math. That is the fundamental. You will learn a lot of mathematics here in your first and second semester, because that is the fundamental. Although we already have a lot of application, for example, we have a lot of tools that basically help you in solving something, for example, but mathematics is still required. Okay, I give you a reason why that. For example, why that you need to learn calculus? Why you need to learn differential equation, since you already have a simulator, for example, since you already have a MATLAB where you can do your programming, for example. Remember that you are engineer, you will be a future engineer. All those mathematics subject, especially the differential equation, is not basically preparing for you to pass the course, to pass the subject. It's basically is to train you for problem solving, because differential equation is more on solving. You solve the ordinary differential equation. Okay? You solve it one by one, step by step. Okay, that's why I am teaching differential equation also. I'm also teaching process simulation. Why I need to teach you differential equation, since already there in the simulator. Okay, basically to train your problem solving or the problem solving thinking. Okay, and when you're solving it, and then it's related with the real industrial problem, for example, then you will experience, okay, a meaningful learning. Not only you're able to solve your mathematical problem, but also you are basically solving the real world problem. All right. So the rest. Thank you, Rao. Can I just call you Rao? Kian? All right. Ray Lester, it assists the student to create and come up with the new idea. New idea and come up. Okay, thank you, Rao. And come up with new ideas that apa pula aku baca ni. Ray, yang kali pendek-pendek coba Ray. Kau ini panjang-panjang kamu tulis. It assists the student to create and come up with new ideas that required a lot of manpower. For example, where we could just can turn it into a simple and creative way to do it. To create the ability of the student understanding using computer language is to understand and acknowledge on how to maximize the usage of technologies. All right, thank you, Ray. Siapa lagi ni? Rosa Shida. To create interesting and useful apps. No, we are not learn this MATLAB to create apps. But I will give you some tips if you want to use if you want to create apps using MATLAB. Tapi tidak canggih lah. It's not really canggih compared if you want to use, for example, the C++ or those basically because MATLAB is for engineering. Able to control high-tech machine. Okay. Wow, you should come to my process control class in the 3rd year. To solve, I'll share to solve problem in a understanding ways, all right? Because not all engineering are doing for create something with hand, but also with computer. With hand, what do you mean by with hand? Manual, okay, manually. If you do it manually, basically you solve the problem by solving it using the fundamental, either with the help of some use Microsoft Excel, for example, in order to solve it. That we call it manual approach. But if you're using the programming, that's become automatic, become automation. Okay, become automatic. So that's why it's important. Not only you can solve the chemical engineering problem manually, as what you will learn in your mass and energy balances class. You solve those problems manually. Although you're using some Excel there, program will help you to make it automated. Okay, to make it automated. We'll learn this in our next class. Don't worry. Next class. To gain new knowledge for future job. Okay, very simple. Thank you. Siapa tadi? I need to mention the name. Nazrul Shafiq. Thank you. Thank you, Shafiq. Allah, nama panjang saya. Sikilah. Allow us to discover more creative solution. It lets us to go beyond simply using the tools and data sets that everyone else around us use. Right. So when you want to know, if you have a lot of information, a lot of data, especially in this kind of big data session or big data area right now, then you need to something that can solve it efficiently and faster. Basically, you can solve it manually, yes, but you need to pay some price because that require a lot of cost. Human need to do a lot of things, a lot of job, analyzing those big data manually. So with the help of programming, for example, we will have one big project related to the a real-time problem from the industry, especially from the palm oil refinery problem, that you will analyze this data collected from this real plant, and you analyze the data and finding the problem, for example. Okay, in order for you to analyze, you need to first is do some pre-treatment on the raw data, and after that you do some plotting, and from that plotting you need to analyze what's wrong with this plant, what's wrong with this refinery. Okay, so before you want to analyze that, make sure that that's why you call it problem solving. You find the solution for that, but programming will help you to analyze your problem in an efficient way, in a systematic manner, in an efficient way, and faster. That is the most important. Cepat saja pun is not really good, ataupun it's not very important if your solution or your analysis is not systematic or is not it's not what we call it accurate or efficient. All right. So thank you guys. Do we have any? Yeah, welcome to the course. We still have a time. After this, I will give you some closure. Okay, there's no activity here. You just read of this. So MATLAB engineering problem solving and programming. MATLAB for engineering problem solving and programming. So this is the table 4. You just download it. Make sure that you first look at this course outline. Sorry, it's not course outline, course outcome. We have discussed this in the beginning. So there's 4 learning outcomes that you need to able to achieve at the end of this course. And this is the detail on what you're gonna learn throughout this semester. So no programming for IG hacking, sorry. So we learn introduction to programming and the basic MATLAB environment, and also the general comment, how that you want to do some simple calculation using the general comment in MATLAB, and also use the predefined function. Some of the function already defined or already developed there in the MATLAB library. So how that you want to use it, how you want to call it. For example, if you are solving statistical problem, okay, you have a big data problem. So how that you want to analyze the data statistically, then you can use the predefined function in MATLAB. And then how that you design your algorithm and also the flowchart in programming. Write a M file. This is a new function created by you, because usually when you use the M file, we use it for a very specific problem or for a very specific programming problem. So you will learn how to develop it and how to call the free-defined function using M file. And then the structured program, kita ada 2, where you have a conditional statement, if then, for example, the logic statement or the looping. So this is the basic. Sometimes if you want to analyze something, there's also some probability that we need to use logic. So that is in chapter 6. And also there is some calculation or analysis that we need to do, not only once. So that is in the chapter 7, which is the looping, the loops. How that you develop a loop such that you will do some iterative calculation or iterative analysis, and you stop until you obtain the defined solution or the required defined solutions. So that is, we call it loops. All right, that is the 7 chapters that we will cover. Of course, all of these you will use to solve chemical engineering problem. Okay, so that's going to be in either in the project or in the assignment. So the teaching methods, we'll use active learning, something like what we have done right now. Online synchronous, now it's online, we call it online synchronous active learning, or online asynchronous active learning. You still can access this open learning, okay, after the class, and try to finish all those activities, especially those who have a problem assessing it online synchronously right now during these 2 hours. We use the e-learning platform. In this case, we have both Smart UMS and also the open learning, and we use the online computational hands-on using the MATLAB online. Okay, so this is what we call it, the page where you can use the MATLAB online here. We will cover this one in the chapter 1 next week. All right, this is very important, the SLT, distribution of student learning time. You need to really understand this, such that you know that your responsibility is not only during the 2 hours or 4 hours class per week. Basically, you still have several time that you need to spend in order for you to finish your learning. and teaching and learning activity. Okay, please be in mind that we have two kind of teaching and learning activities. We have a face-to-face. So this face-to-face either online or using the technology mediated. So in this case, we use the online, we use technology. We don't have the physical face-to-face since you're still in the first year. You are not allowed to come to campus. Okay, now we have this kind of online face-to-face, and we also have a non-face-to-face, non-online face-to-face, which basically you can use by your own, by yourself. Use it, learn it in your free time and anytime, anywhere that you want. All right, so we have a 3 hours, 6 hours. So this is totally that what you will use for this course. And also we have a sum assessment, which is divided into two: continuous assessment and also the final, or we call it summative assessment. So continuous or formative assessment can be divided into four. We have a quizzes, several quizzes, and there is also some percentage allocation marks for that. Group assignments, test one and test two, and after that we have a final exam, which is a 50%. All right, some of this will be done online. Some of them will be you can do it. It's non face to face, wherever period that you want to do it, as long as you submit it. So the total is you have 120 hours for one semester. Okay, so that is your SLT, and the last but not least is on the references. Okay, so for now, I'm not encourage you to have the physical book of this, since you can buy it, or say you can find it online. If you have the soft copy version, that's much better. But if you have extra money, you can buy it physically. It's okay. So the first thing that we will refer is this MATLAB programming for engineers. This is for the general engineering, because it's for engineers. So you can have this one. So this is the link where you can buy this book. The second is also for the using the MATLAB, a practical introduction for programming and problem solving. So from the Ataway, so you can also buy it if you have some extra money. So there's a beginning MATLAB and Simulink. Also, for this is for general. But the most important in this class is that is our reference, but your problem will be specific on the chemical engineering problem. And some of them, especially for the assignment and project, are the real one. Okay, please answer this, the last one questions before we close our class. Have you ever have experience in MATLAB programming before? Just answer it, yes or no. Such that I will have, I can adjust our class in the future. So this is kind of survey that required. All right. If most of you don't have any experience, then we need to have a detailed, comprehensive class starting next week. But if most of you, for example, have this kind of experience, then the way of our teaching and learning in our next class will be different, since most of you already have this kind of experience. That's why this is very important. Make sure that you answer either you have experience before or not. Let us check again. Mostly no. All right, thank you. Oh, tadi yang cakap biasa. All right, guys. Thank you. As a closure, okay, since we have introduction, therefore we need to have a closing remark. What we have covered for this 20 for this 2 hours. Right. So first of all, thank you, since this is our first class, and also I would like to congratulate all of you, okay, for your enrollment here in the chemical engineering program in UMS. Thank you. And You're not the only the freshie there. I'm also the freshie. Okay, I'm also just lapo diri di UMS this week. That's why our last week we don't have a class. Okay, better tunjuk ni lah. Alright. Okay. So thank you very much and congratulations. Make sure that hopefully that your 4 years here in UMS will be the meaningful one. Okay, hopefully that we can come back to the former situation where you have face to face, where you can have a fun in your lab, for example. Okay, not in the next year. I think it's in the next years, since this COVID-19 still within us. I don't know until 5 or maybe 5 to 10 years. Hopefully that you will have experience doing your physical lab, because that is most important. All right, hanging together with your friends. Okay, since you miss, I do have information that most of you are Sabahan here. Thank you. Okay, for those who are not Sabahan, hopefully that you will physically here in Sabah. Okay, experience the culture, the different culture, the truly Malaysia in Sabah, where students with different culture, with different race, with different religion, okay, stay together, play together, have fun together. Okay, and the most important, if you are never experienced the real world, okay, you can have you can experience the mini New Zealand here in Sabah, the Maldives, the mini Maldives also in Sabah. Okay, if you have extreme experience, you can do the hiking, you can do the rafting, for example. There is a lot of stream or river that you can use this experience in the rafting. Okay, scuba diving, the one that I recommend you need to do before you graduate. Okay, go to the all of the white sand beach here in Taman Negara, especially Pulau Manukan. Or if you have extra money, you can go to the Sipadan. Okay, enjoy that. Okay, enjoy your student life here in Sabah. Hopefully that we can meet you physically next year or next 2 years. All right. And also the most important thing that we have covered today is about your learning style. Make sure that you know what kind of style that you are basically born with, because it's very difficult to change it. Okay, but you need to take its advantage. So make sure that you know how to adjust your learning style related to the way of your teaching activity in your class, because you will attend several different class in the same time starting this semester. All right, so that is most important today. And also we have covered the overview of our overall class planning. All right, so thank you everyone. So if you have a question, so I give you opportunity to raise your hand or to open your mic, on your mic, and ask the question for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. If you're having a question, any question related to what we have covered today, or you can ask the question there, other question that the chat. Okay, no, thank you. Or you can also ask comment there, put the comment there in the open learning platform.
So I have a question.
Yeah, Azim.
Do we need to download the MATLAB application, or we just using MATLAB through open learning
Kipas
platform?
depan kau, Azim. Tak dengar.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kuat sikit.
Do we need to download MATLAB, or we just using the MATLAB from through open learning application?
Okay, thank you for that question. If you can download it, if you install it, yes, you can use that, but you need to require some access. Okay, lain lah kalau you pakai yang pirate punya, but don't worry. But for this session, we just use the online version. Online version is free for everyone. The most important is you need to register. We will cover that next week. All right, because the advantage of the online that you no need for you to install, because if you want to install it, it require a huge space for the data. Okay, I think it's about 200, almost 200 gig besar tu. Right, especially there's a lot of library, a lot of add-on things. But if you use the online, so no need for you to install. The most important that is you need to have a not really good, it's just moderate internet connection, and then after that, it's more on the cloud. So don't worry. So no space required for that. Okay, Zim? Oh, bukan Kelantan kan sekarang, KK kan?
Yes, sir.
Siapa ada di KK tu? Your family there?
Me. Yeah, my whole family.
Okay, ingat you di rantau panjang. Okay, it's okay. Alright, others? You have any questions? Ketua kampung, Ray. Mana kau?
Sini.
Okay, sini kau di Kuala Penyu lah. Sini cakap. Alright, so if you're having a problem, kalau malu-malu, then you just contact Ray. Then Ray will forward that problem with me, especially if you're having the internet connection, or you, for example, there is your friend that asking that you cannot access the GM using the laptop. It's okay. You can use your handphone. But because the most important thing now is in our case, we need to have, because I'm using a two platform for the online. One is the GM, the Google Meet. So the requirement is just your online, either using the best way is just using your handphone. And the second one, you need to have your laptop, okay, or your PC, because you need to do these activities, a lot of activities online, hands-on. Dan remember, lepas ni kita akan ada programming activity, so better you need to have the laptop with you. Sebab a lot of activity that to do online. Tapi Google Meet cuma 2 jam atau 4 jam seminggu sahaja. Okay, if you're having a problem, okay, cannot attend that. All right, don't worry. Those who are having a problem for the attendance, you just PM me privately in the web chat and in the WhatsApp, sorry, so that I can add you manually. Okay, siapa ada masalah untuk attendance, okay, apa your metric card number, your metric ID, give me so that I can add you manually. Okay. If that's all, kalau tiada, if you don't have any question, thank you very much. So after this, I will put this recorded online, and then you can access it, especially those who cannot join us today, because we still need to provide the opportunity for those who are having problem accessing or joining our class. Okay, Nicole, what's your problem? Mana dia? Dia kat tangan tadi. All right. So if if you want to ask something, that you just raise your hand and then on your mic. Nicole? Tidak kah? All right, kalau tidak, it's okay. So remember that most of the activities is done using the open learning platform. So always go there, and all the information, the material related to this course, I will put in the Smart UMS. Yeah, that's why we need to use a two platform for the e-learning. And the general information, anything related to this class, you can put there in the WhatsApp group chat. Okay, that's relating to whatever general thing. It's not really related to the content. Content you can ask in the open learning. Or if there is any assignment or any activity related to this class, then you need to submit through the Smart UMS. For example, the personal information form, make sure that you submit it, you fill in and submit it through the UMS Smart. Okay? Because that is required. I need to that information for me to form your team. All right. If there is no question, thank you very much, everybody. And if you're still having a problem in assessing your attendance, I can show you this such that you can. All right. You can scan this code. Berapa ada sekarang? 31. Wow. So yang lain tu you having problem. So I give this until 10:30. Don't worry. All right. That's all. Thank you very much. See you next week. Anything, just refer to the Smart UMS or in our WhatsApp. Thank you very much. All right. Bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, semua bercakap terus. Tadi senyap tu.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Scan lah. Siapa yang belum scan tu, scan.
Doktor still tak boleh lah.
Apa?
Tak boleh juga.
Apa yang
Invalid.
tak boleh?
Scan tu.
Kenapa kau WhatsApp aku ni? Kau punya nombor apa? Menteri card nombor.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Alright.
Saya pun doktor.
Naim mana Naim? Naim kita keluar kan? It's okay. If you're having a problem scanning this, so just WhatsApp me your student ID.
Okay, doktor. Thank you.
Alright, thank you.